I'm gonna show you now the sectors of the food forest. So the sun sector is over here because that's north and here is south, so the sun moves like this. This is the sun sector. Then we have the wind sector, and we have cold wind from northwest and hot wind from southeast facing each other. Then we have the axis. This is a car road, and then we have the paths for a wheelbarrow or for the people to walk. Goes along here and down all around the food forest, also here. And then the water. We get the water from this canal, and we use it to fill up this tank. There is 30,000 liters tank, and from here it goes down along the paths and we irrigate the food forest like this. The reason I have chosen this structure, it's because some of the trees were already planted in the past. This was an abandoned orchard, so the trees were not planted on contour. So these trenches have a gentle slope going this direction, and then from here they go down, the water goes down into the lake. So this is how it is organized to make the water circulate. And the reason I have put the trenches away from the trees, around 1.5 meters from the trees, it's so that the tree can develop the roots more outside, looking for more water, develop stronger. Also created a windbreak to avoid the evapotranspiration, loss of water. So that's how it's organized. So here we have the rows of trees, these lines here. They are facing south-north. And these were the younger trees that I have planted. And it's a combination between bigger trees like oranges, apples and pears, with smaller trees like peaches, plums, apricots, guavas, chirimoyas, and I've also added bananas, yuccas. Well, and this is the area with more wind, so I planted this windbreak here. Also created this windbreak. This is a line of Canna indica. I planted a lot of Canna indica. And this red, orange and pink is Retama, Eliagnus and Buddleia, because that's what's missing now in the food forest. It's the bush layer. So these colors, this means the future plantations that we are going to include on the design. Now I'm going to explain this lake here. It's the lake that captures all the overflow from the food forest. Everything goes down there. And at the same time, it's producing fertilizer that I can use to fertilize the trees on the food forest. And also here, next to the water tank, I have a cactus, prickly pears, planted on contour. that I can also use as fertilizer to fertilize these trees, because the water it's getting out here of the water tank, and it's very difficult to take it here. It takes too much energy, too much time to water these cactus. So it's a demonstration of more desert strategies. And I can get also fertilizer. So fertilizer from here to the food forest, and fertilizer from the lake to the food forest. So now we are gonna have a closer look to this line over here and to see how it is organized. Have a more clear picture as an example of how I have put in the trees together here. So this is how it looks like. This is an apple tree, it's a big one. Then I have a peach, a smaller one, and these are around 3 meters apart. And then I have again a big one, a cherry. So these ones here are 6 meters apart minimum. Then again I have a smaller one, peach. And this is another disposal. I have a pear here. So I have 2 small ones in between, a plum and a peach. Then I have another small one, apricot, and another big one, an orange. Because I already had this this tree planted when I arrived, I had to organize according to what I was already planted. And then in the between I plant yuccas and also bananas to add the organic matter, and also many cana indica to add more organic matter. And in the future, these smaller productive trees, they will last, I believe, around 15 years, and then I won't replant. I will let these big ones to grow and occupy the space. Once these ones are not effective anymore, I leave just the big ones to grow. So you can have a look now here on SketchUp, how I have organized the food forest. This is how it will look like in maybe 10 years. These are the yuccas. Planted a lot of yuccas. They grow very fast with minimum water. So they will produce a lot of organic matter in the beginning, starting the mushroom, supporting the mushrooms. And I've also added bananas for organic matter also, and to hold the water at the surface. And here is a pear tree. Here we have a plum, peach, plum, and then the big one, a pear, and an orange. So it's good to, between the big trees, have a distance of at least 6 meters. And in the between of these 6 meters you can always put a smaller tree. But this is the maximum you can go. And then you can have other kinds of plants like bananas or yuccas. Yuccas don't produce that much shade, and you can always cut them. This is the example of the food forest on SketchUp. You can get an idea on how it will look like maybe 10 years from now. See the scale of the developments. Here we have the design of the paths and the irrigation. This is facing north-south, and the slope is around 4%. So we have the row of the trees, and I made the irrigation trenches over here next to the drip line, so that the water wouldn't go here directly, so that the roots could spread out easily. And in the future, if I want, I can stop irrigating in here, and I can start irrigating with this one, so that the roots will keep on moving out. Inside of the soil, I have used biochar here with manure, and I have also added covers of cardboard and straw. On the paths, this is the path here. I've added luzernes and clovers. Next to the trench I planted peanut. Some perennial grasses have developed. I also have pumpkins and melons as ground cover. Also the cana indica. I have also the climbing beans on the trees. In the bush layer I've used the Eleagnus, a lot of Eleagnus. Here's some sunflowers, potatoes. I've also used the Asclepia plant. It's a plant that attracts butterflies. It attracts mainly the monarch butterfly that help in the pollination of the trees. And also many plants that attract bees to support on the pollination. And on the top we have the birds that help to control the pests. So these are the guilds of our food forest. So this is a top view of the lake. Here it's where the overflow of the food forest comes and gets in. The soil that I have extracted from here, I've used to make a wall here and another wall here to be used as windbreak. This is the cold northwest wind, and this is the hot southeast wind. And I have planted bananas. They grow very fast and produce a lot of organic matter. These are date palms. I planted sunflower, corn, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, peanuts, luzerne, many plants to protect the pond, the evaporation. This is the profile of the pond. These are the big walls, the ugal beds. This is the path around the lake. And I've used this area to do the plantations on the wall, and the sunflower and higher plants to protect from the wind, like the banana. This is the sun sector here. With these grown plants I am able to shade this area, so shading the lake. And the wind sector, both wind sectors facing each other. This is the design of the lake.